Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Canal Algérie's News in English and in today's top stories. Algeria takes part in the 8th edition of the High-Level Conference for Mediterranean Dialogue, Rome Med 2022, and presents its pioneering approach in promoting peace and stability in the region to face the current geopolitics challenges. The United Nations General Assembly collectively approves important resolutions in support of the Palestinian cause, and Algeria advocates for full membership for Palestine at the United Nations. And in Berlin, the 46th Conference of the European Coordination for Support and Solidarity with the Sahrawi People reiterates the right of the Sahrawi people to self-determination. In Morocco, Moroccans continue demonstrating across several cities. This time we shed light on Gaza's demonstration denouncing normalization with a Zionist entity. Good evening, those are today's headlines. First in our news is cooperation, where the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad, Ramtan Al-Amamra, reaffirmed in Rome that Algeria plays a pivotal role in making the Mediterranean region one of the poles of rebuilding tomorrow's world. And this while taking part in the proceedings of the 8th edition of the High-Level Conference for Mediterranean Dialogue, Med Rome, which Algeria is participating in with an important ministerial delegation, including the Foreign Minister Ramtan Al-Amamra, the Minister of Energy and Mines Mohamed Arqab, Minister of Knowledge, Economy, Startups and Microenterprises Yassine Al-Mahdi Walid. The 8th edition of the High-Level Conference for Mediterranean Dialogue held in Rome, Italy, discusses a number of important international matters related to the world order, food and energy crisis, as well as sustainable development and environment protection. The conference is an opportunity for Algeria to present its efforts and participation in promoting peace and stability in the region. On the occasion, Ramtan Al-Amamra reaffirmed that Algeria is working on achieving peace, especially on the Palestinian side, highlighting the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboun's efforts, which were crowned with the Palestinian factions reuniting in Algiers and the signing of the Algiers Declaration.
Algeria renewed on several occasions its adherence to the Arab Peace Initiative on the Palestinian cause, based on the borders of June 1967. Algeria, led by the President Abdelmajid Tebboune, was able to unite Palestinian factions that recently met in Algeria.
On the sidelines of the forum, the Foreign Minister Al-Amamra, representing Algeria, met with the Italian President Sergio Mattarella, and the Nigerian President Mohamed Bazoum, and the Mauritanian President Mohamed Ould Al-Ghazouani. Al-Amamra also held a number of bilateral meetings where he held discussions with the Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary for the Bureau of Near Eastern Affairs, Yael Lampert, and the Italian previous Foreign Minister Luigi Di Maio. Al-Amamra also met with the personal envoy of the UN Secretary General for Western Sahara, Stefan de Mistura, and the European Union Special Representative for the Middle East Peace Process, Sven Koopmans, who congratulated Algeria on the success of the Arab Summit held in Algiers, hailing Algeria's ongoing efforts to promote Palestinian reconciliation and the resumption of the Middle East peace process on the basis of the Arab Peace Initiative. These meetings discussed bilateral cooperation in addition to regional and international issues of common interest. Regarding the Palestinian file, the United Nations General Assembly voted unanimously in favor of 4 resolutions that support the Palestinian cause, foremost of it which is the settlement of the issue by peaceful means, a position supported and defended by Algeria that also advocates granting Palestine full membership at the United Nations. Rania Al-Bahri will tell us more.
Algeria, Bahrain, Bangladesh.
This is how the member states win in favor of Palestine after the General Assembly of the United Nations recognized the historical injustice that befell the Palestinian people by approving 4 important resolutions in favor of Palestine to gradually go towards correcting its position and the conspiracy that occurred in this hall to divide Palestine 75 years ago. Decisions presented by the Senegalese ambassador Sheikh Nyang, the chairman of the International Committee concerned with the Palestinian people's exercise of their inalienable rights, and the settlement of the Palestinian state by peaceful means, which is what Algeria has been calling for from the United Nations platform up to the Algerian declaration resulting from the last Arab summit. The United Nations must provide political support to Palestinian people to enable them to resist the Zionist occupier and stand up to its crimes and Zionist policy. Algeria supports Palestine's request to become a full member of the United Nations. The second resolution that was adopted related to mobilizing international solidarity and support for the Palestinian people, which also included support for the media program on the Palestinian cause and condemned the failed execution of journalist Shireen Abu Aqla, calling for the occupier to be held accountable for this heinous crime. The Palestinians throughout the year 2023 for 75th anniversary of the Nakba, including the holding of a high-level event in the General Assembly Hall on the 15th of next May. The decisions were welcomed by the Palestinians and were considered as reparation for the damage that the Palestinian people and their cause were subjected to. Voting in favor of Palestine is evidence of the international consensus on the Palestinian cause and the right of the Palestinian people to live in freedom and dignity and the return of refugees. The fifth resolution adopted by the Palestinian UN General Assembly ruled the abolition and the illegality of the Zionist occupation of the occupied Syrian Golan, calling on it to withdraw immediately and completely in implementation of the Security Council resolutions.
The 46th Conference of the European Coordination for Support and Solidarity with the Sahrawi People kicked off on Friday in Berlin. This event brought together delegations from all over the world, in addition to representatives of several countries, human rights NGOs, as well as representatives of the civil society. A demonstration of strength to denounce the UN's immobilization and to claim the Sahrawi people's right to freedom and self-determination. Manal Ammari.
Participants at the 46th Conference of the European Coordination for Support and Solidarity with the Sahrawi People examined the developments of the Sahrawi issue, with serious violations committed on its land, the confiscation of its rights and wealth, as well as the necessity of putting an end to the unauthorized occupation of the Western Saharan territory. The participants highlighted the distinguished relations that the Sahrawi National Council maintains with various legislative institutions around the world, which became a solid foundation that advocates for the Sahrawi people's rights and the righteous struggle for freedom and independence. According to speakers, this long-lasting conflict continues to pose a real threat on the region's peace, stability, and security. In the face of this denial of rights that the Sahrawi people are victims to, the European Union, the African Union, the United Nations, the UN Security Council, the UN Secretary-General, and the personal representative of the UN Secretary-General in Western Sahara, Staffan de Mistura, are called upon to act firmly and responsibly to put an end to the Moroccan colonial monarchy's arrogance and stubbornness. According to the member of the Polisario Front Secretariat responsible for Europe and the EU, Bibushraya, this meeting is an opportunity to reactivate and expand the solidarity movement in Europe with the Sahrawi issue, as well as establishing an action and follow-up plan for the year 2023. The opening ceremony was distinguished by the participation of more than 230 representatives from various European countries and international delegates. It was also marked by the messages of solidarity, particularly from neighboring countries like Mauritania and Algeria.
هاي الندوة جاءت في ظرف يعني مهم حساس بالنسبة للقضية الصحراوية وتعد لأول مرة يعني تنظم.
This conference came at an important and critical time for the Sahrawi issue, and it is held in Berlin, Germany, for the first time. The Parliamentary Symposium on Solidarity with the Sahrawi people was held today. It was attended by many parliamentary representatives from around the world. The opening of the official symposium witnessed the participation of delegations from Algeria, Spain, Mauritania, Austria, and many more.
Personally, I'm so excited to join this meeting, this conference. I'm so deeply impressed of the Sahrawi people's struggle for so many years and still keeping on going strong. And I wish to give my personal and my organization's Emmaus deep solidarity, greetings of solidarity, and we will be on your side as long as the struggle is going on, and we will be on your side when the Sahrawi people are independent.
The large number of countries taking part at this event indicates the world's awareness regarding the Sahrawi people's rights to self-determination and its refusal of the autonomy plan put forward by Morocco. Algeria, faithful to its constant positions, participated at this meeting. In addition to the Algerian National Committee of Solidarity with the Sahrawi people, a delegation of the National People's Assembly also took part to transmit the message of solidarity with the Sahrawi people and the two houses of parliament. A special meeting started on Friday in the German Parliament's building, Bundestag, which brought together Algerian parliamentarians with their European counterparts attending the conference. Workshops on politics, information, natural resources, human rights, occupied territories, and the consolidation of the Sahrawi state were also organized.
During the International Parliamentarian Conference held in the German capital Berlin on Friday, the announcement that Algeria will be hosting the next meeting of the Parliamentarian International Network to support the right of the Sahrawi people to self-determination was made. In Morocco, protesters continue demonstrating with determination to support the Palestinian cause. Thousands of protesters from the Moroccan Front in support of Palestine took to the streets in Casablanca to say no to normalization with the Zionist entity, recalling the solidarity showed by the Arab peoples with the Palestinian people during the Qatar World Cup. Rania Al-Bahri again.
The protest against normalization with the Zionist entity still going strong in Morocco. Massive gathering in front of the parliament in Rabat was organized. After a day of demonstration through several cities, Casablanca, Marrakesh, Meknes, Khouribga, Beni Mellal and Azrou, in solidarity with the Palestinian people and as a sign of protest against the normalization with the Zionist entity. These protest actions once again confirm the attachment of free Moroccans to the Palestinian cause, but above all, their opposition to the normalization with the Zionist entity.
أن الشعب المغربي مع فلسطين ومع كفاح الشعب الفلسطيني العادل وضد.
The message is that the Moroccan people are with Palestine and with the struggle of the Palestinian people and against all forms of normalization, which is considered betrayal to the Moroccan people. We condemn the normalization laws, and here in this place the normalization law has been criminalized. We denounce and say this is not the nature of the Moroccan people who made sit-ins in this street. Normalization is betrayal. Moroccans continue to condemn all steps towards normalization and actions undertaken by the Makhzen against the will of the Moroccan people. Since the signing of the shameful agreement, a three-party agreement including Morocco, USA and the Zionist entity, the wave of normalization has intensified to reach different sectors in the kingdom, with the aim of concluding agreements in various fields, in particular security and military, which serve the Zionist enemy.
With that, our news edition comes to a close. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.